Let's start with MASLOC. She's accused of gross financial malfeasance, which has cost the country more than 16 million cedis. Already, the Economic and Organized Crime Office has launched an investigation into how former CEO of MASLOC, Sedina Tamaklo, allegedly misappropriated the 16 million cedis. But she's fighting back, denying the allegations and accusing government of what she describes as a hatchet job for which a private legal firm, she says, is being used. Here are excerpts of the statement that's been released by Sedina Tamaklo's lawyer, Victor Adawudu, and I'm going to read to you some of the statement, quick parts of it. She says, our attention, or he wrote on behalf of her, so he says, our attention has been drawn to publications of a purported audit and or IOCO report on various platforms belonging to the multimedia group in relation to embezzlement of funds and or malfeasance during her tenure as the chief executive officer of MASLOC. He goes on to say that we wish to state that whilst it is the duty of the investigator to do their job to gather evidence to complete their work, quote, a private auditing firm by name Bafo Ewa and Associate wrote to our client to give them information and also respond to the same issues that our client had responded to at IOCO. We found the request from the said firm curious and an attempt to elicit information from our client after the fact unacceptable. Upon our advice, our clients declined the said invitation to participate in that private audit process. And I'm going to go quickly to the very final parts of it. It says, for Multimedia Group to bandy around the so-called audit report and to create the impression that whatever has been stated in the report is sacrosanct is most unfortunate and regrettable, especially when the said media group has set up some standard as a credible institution. He goes on to say that we also expect IOCO to adhere to the age-long tested and proven criminal processes if they are of the view that our client has done anything criminal and not to prosecute her in the media. So, speaking of which, I've been talking to the lawyer. The very final paragraph in their response, by the way, is that meanwhile, we have the instructions of our client to commence legal action against all persons and corporate entities publishing the defamatory statements about our client. So, I spoke to the lawyer a while ago on Joy FM. Listen.
Let IOCO do its investigation, put us before court. We will ask for the investigative report. We will ask for everything. When we ask for, we would also put a defense towards that. We are not gagging the media. What they have seen, they are the watchdog of society. They can also report, but we are saying that cross-check the facts, make sure that what is being done is acceptable, not to injure or ridicule her hard-won reputation. In as much as you need to give information, you need to protect the individual. That we do not have a trial in the media where we'll be convicted and sentenced even before we are put before the court of law.
Right. Mr. Daudu, you've given us what you expect or what you think IOCO should do. But let's look at this. Some of the issues we've picked up in the document. Is it true that she invested 500,000 cedis into a private non-bank financial institution?
We have never been confronted with that. And even if there's going to be any investment at MASLOC, it is the board that takes a decision. So the chief executive officer has no power to take such an investment decision. It is the board that will take the decision. And I believe that it will reflect in the board minutes of MASLOC.
Did the board take that decision?
Until we see the board minutes. And because we have never been confronted with this issue at IOCO. It never came up.
Mr. Daudu, your client must have given you a lot of detailed information. Did the board take that decision?
My client has been a public servant. My client did her work with integrity, and she's left office. So the official record will be with the institution. MASLOC had always been doing investment, and those decisions are taken by the board. So every institution, they do investment, but my client says he has not taken any investment.
Did she?
Hasn't.
To what extent was her personal bank account involved in the transactions that she conducted whilst she was serving at MASLOC?
Her personal bank account.
Yes.
Now, I believe that if she has a bank account, she's paid salary. And MASLOC pays her salary. So if you are working with an institution, you would always give your bank account to the institution where you'll be paid.
Well,
so
the document states that she withdrew some amount and sent them into her personal account.
No, that is why you do your investigation and put the investigation, and we will have reasons to explain what was the purpose of those accounts. There is always an official account. Every institution has its own account. Employees who work for the institution also would definitely have accounts with the institution, so that once they are being paid their salary, it goes into their private account. So you cannot always say it is going to be only an account for the institution where the employee's account will not be made available to the account office for their salaries to be paid into. So you definitely see money moving from the accounts of the institution to the account of the private individual.
Victor Adawudu, counsel for Sednam Tamaklu, they're speaking to me earlier on Midday News on Joy FM.